Okay, then group types, distribution group, security group having SID, and distribution group don't have SID. Okay, and we can, if you have a application or maybe you have a file or a folder, you can give permission to, security group, but not distribution group. So how it is works, we'll see that one. Okay, I'm going to server only. So first of all, I want to create a group first. Okay, to do this one, already by default groups are there. These are all by default groups. Okay, you can see the default groups here. So we'll go through that one later. And also you can go to the built-in. This is all built-in groups only. So we don't want now that one. I want to go to here. The first one is how to create a group. So like this. So I click on my OU, IT support OU, then right click and then go to group. So you can see group type security and distribution group. So what I am selecting, group scope is domain local. We will see this one also. Okay, group types are security and distribution group. So I am creating a first security group. Okay, I am going to create a first security group. For example, what to do? You have to use some unique thing like I use XSG1. I use a XSG1. SG1 means security group 1. X means some letter. So I will tell what is the use of that. I created a security group. You can see security group, and I am creating another group. Another group here it is a domain local. Distribution group I am going to create. You can see distribution group XDG1. Okay, DG1 means a distribution group. X means just like a alphabetical order. Okay, so you can see this is the distribution group. This is the security group. Okay, now this is the file anyway. So I have a file. So whether file is contain something or not, I don't mind. Just I'm going to the file to verify. Go to the security, edit, add. I type only X. I type only X. Check names. You will get a X as G1 only. You are not getting XDG1 by default. Okay. So otherwise, add, advanced, EX, start with X, find now. Where is DG1? We can't able to see DG1 here, but DG1 is here. DG1 is there. SG1 is there. DG1 is there. But when I'm giving the security permissions, okay, SG1 is came, security group is came, but not distribution group. It means the we can't give a permission to distribution groups. We can't give a permission to distribution groups. Understand? Next, how to add a user to a group. How to add a user to a group? Also, we can see it. So next one is how to add a user to the group. First, we'll see that one. Then we'll go to other things. Okay. Now, two ways we can able to add it. So we'll see that one first. So I open any group, same thing only. First, I'm open my security group. This is my security group, and can you see this is security group and domain local group. Okay, members. Member means member of the group. Okay, member of means if this group in the other groups, if this group is in another group, that is member of. Okay, that is member of today. Okay, this is members. This is member of. Okay, member of means a group is in any other group, that is a member of. Members means if anybody, any user is in this group or any group is in this group, that is members. Okay, So members. So here I'm adding a user to the group. Here I'm going to add a user to the group. So I open my group, go to the members, add. Okay, I want to add IT user one, for example. Check names. Okay, IT user one, I want to add it. Apply. Okay, like this, we can able to do it. So I added a user here, so members, right? Okay. Now I'm going to IT user one. I'm going to IT user one. I'm going to IT user one. Can you see the member of IT user one? Member of. See, automatically XSG1 is came because I added from there. Okay. This is a by default. All users are member of domain users only. All the users are by default the member of domain users only. And next one is we add a user, right, like that. If you want to add IT user one to XDG1, you want to add IT user one to XDG1, you can add it from here. Member of, this is user, and I'm going to member of add. Okay, X check names XDG1. Okay, okay, like this we can able to add it. Got it? Apply. Okay, then if you check in from group members, you see members, like that we can able to add it. So multiply we can add it. For example, this is IT user 2. I want to add IT user 2 to XSG1. XSG1 group I want to sorry, IT user 2 I want to add it to XSG1 group. Okay, how to add it? This is the user I want to add it, right? Right click on that user. So one is already told, go to the properties, member of, add. You can search and you can do it like this. You can able to do it, right? But also I'm telling very simple. Right click, add to a group, add to a group. So see, automatically it came. It's not required to so many steps. Add to a group. So which one you want to add? XSG1. See, it is added. So I'm going to check in SG1. Can you see two users are there? Like this, we can able to add it. Group to group, we can also add it. Okay. This is about what are the groups and how to add the groups and the difference between the groups. But group scopes also there, right? New group. There is a 3 group scopes are there. So we'll see what is the use of these 3 group scopes. So this is the group scope. Local group means already in when you install a plain server without a domain controller. So the every PC contains its own local groups are there. So every PC its own local groups are there. It contains user, computer, global groups, domain local groups, universal group from the same domain, domain in the same forest, and other trusted domains can be permission resources, computer only. But when you are creating a group, there is a 3 type of groups are there. Okay, in a domain wide, we have only 3 groups. System wide, we have a single group, that is a local group. Either a server or Windows 10, you have a local groups are there without any domain kind of stuff. Okay, but when it comes domain wide or Active Directory wide groups are only 3 groups are there: domain local group, universal group, and global group. So I will show you this local group and domain local groups are here. You can see built in. Okay, these are all security groups, and you can see domain local groups. If you go to users, you can see only 2 users are there. One is guest, it is disabled. Default accounts is disabled, but administrator, we are logging with administrator, right? That one. These are all security groups, domain, local, and global groups. You can see universal groups also these. If you see, the enterprise admins is universal group. Okay, domain admins are a global group. Okay, like that. Domain users are also global group. Okay, yeah, but local group is not given. Why it is not given? Hyper-V, where is Hyper-V administrator? Okay. Okay, when we are install a DHCP, then we'll see that one. Okay. So we can't see actual local groups, but here you can see, you can go to system configuration, like that you can see. No, not system configuration, system manage. Information, configuration, services. Yeah, it is not there. It's okay. Not this one, not this one. It's okay, guys. I will show you if possible. Okay, where is my IT support? This one. Okay, so what is the difference between these things? Okay, we'll go to the diagram like this. This is another diagram is important. Okay, so first of all, a triangle. What is the representation of triangle here? Is a domain. Triangle represent a domain. For example, my domain name is a domain 1. Okay, my domain name is okay, domain 1. Or you can use domain A also, no problem. Okay, my domain name is domain 1. Okay, this is my domain. Okay, so I have users in this one. So I have a user. Okay, user 1 in this domain. If user 1 want to access the domain local resources, what are the domain local resources? Domain printers, domain computers, right? These are all belongs to domain only. Okay. Okay. So I'll keep it like here. So these are the domain computers, and this is domain controller. Okay. This user 1 want to access the domain computers, so automatically, so he can able to access because the user 1 is already belongs to domain 1. User 1 is already belongs to domain 1, and he's a this domain local user only, domain user only. So he can log into any PC in their domain, any PC in their domain. By default, there are domain local users, so you don't you don't have any problem with that. I have another domain in the same forest. I have another domain in the same forest. Okay, so that domain name is domain 2. Domain name is domain 2, and also it is contains a user called user 2. U2 is user in the domain 2. Okay, now we'll draw something on it. Okay, user 1 want to log in to our PC into domain 2. User 1 want to log into domain 2 local PC. Okay, so he want to log in here. Now what will happen? It will call for a global catalog, verify this domain and user, and it will ask for a okay, you can log in. Okay, but it won't let you to log in. I said directly it will log in, but it won't let you to log in. If user 1 in a domain 1, in domain 1, user 1 want to log into your local PC. For example, this is C1, C2, C3, C4. Okay, he tried to log into C4, which is in the domain 2. Now, when he tried to log in, he cannot log in because of this user in a different domain, right? So he want to log into your domain local resources, he should be a member of domain local group. Okay, so I created a group called DLG1 and I put a member of this one and I given a permission to this one. I will explain it again. Now I'm going to create I'm going to create a group. Group name is DLG1. This is my group. Okay, so this is my group, and in my group I add this user to my group, this group, domain local group in the domain 2. Domain local group in the domain 2 I created. Okay, domain local group I created under domain 2, and I add this user 1 to this one, user 1 to this one. So then what are the permissions are given to this local group? What are the permissions we are given to this local group? So those permissions are applied on U1. So U1 can able to access local resources if it is assigned to this group. If it is assigned to this group, for example, you want to access a file here. If the file is assigned to the group, then automatically equal to access. So this is DLG. DLG means domain local group. If you want to access domain local resources, if you want to access domain local resources, you should be a member of that domain local group. Okay, so which one permission is given to which domain global? It is there, right? This is the one. And second is a global group. Second one is global group. Second one is global group. What is this global group? Global group can be only contains users, computers, and other global group for a same domain and can be mission for resources. It means okay. So within your forest, your global group works. For example, this user to want to log in this domain. Okay, what is the condition? We need a local group. Domain local group is required. So we need a domain local group. You have to create a domain local group and add this user to this one. So then you through domain local group, he can able to access the local resources. But you cannot go out of your domain. If you want to go to the out of your domain, you must be a member of global group. You must be a member of global group. If it is a my okay, so if it's a classroom and all, it is quite easy to explain. Okay, so I add this user to global group in my domain 2. In a domain 2 I created a global group and I add this global group to this DGL1. Actually, this is what happens. Okay, so again I'm writing. I created a global group in my domain 2. I add user 2 to the global group and I add this global group to the domain local group in domain 1. Okay, now what happened? Domain local group having a permission to access the resources, accessing permissions are there. And who is the member? Global group. Okay, who is the member of that global group? Is a user 2. So this user 2 can able to access this local resources. So like that it will be happen. What is universal group? Universal group, when you go to any forest, separate forest. This is single forest, same forest. This is different forest. This is a forest 1 and this is a forest 2. If in case this user 1 want to go forest 2 and access some their domain local resources, for example, that is domain 3. Okay, and they want to access this domain local resources. So what to do? So we have to do like this. Okay. First, put the user one into universal group here inside this one. First, create a universal group and put user one in universal group and create a domain local group here. Okay. And like this. It means this universal group is a member of this domain local group, and this domain local group is able to access the local resources. So U1 is a member of universal group. So through universal group, we can able to access local resources of this D3 domain. This is about universal group. It's a big story, guys. Okay, so it will take time. Okay, so here important PPT, important slides I will tell first of all. Oh shit, this is here. Okay, so already I told about this one. Okay, distribution group, and this one is a domain local groups, universal group, and global group. Creation is same. Group types are security, scope, which one you want to create, global group or like. But it is a some mechanism is there. I don't have any energy to explain this one. Actually, domain local groups cannot be a member of any other groups. Okay, so here is a condition. Okay, here is a condition. Okay, this is DLG. DLG can be a member of any other DLG, domain local group. Global group can be a member of domain local group. Universal group can be a member of domain local group. But domain local group is cannot member of global group, and as well as global group cannot domain local group cannot be member of global group. So that's it. Okay. If you want to test it, you can create a multiple groups in a different manner. So for example, groups, I'm going to create security group. First, I'm going to create a domain local group, XDLG1. Okay. And I'm going to create a global group. Global group, XDL, sorry, XGG1, global group, XGG1, global group. Next is a universal group. Universal group, XUG1. Okay, so I created a 3 groups. We'll try. So first of all, I'm going to DLG1. This is a DLG1 members. Add. I put X. Check names. Okay. Members means anybody can be a member. You can see this is UG, SG, GG, DLG, DG. Anybody can be a member of members. Means in DLG, anybody can come. But in a member of means DLG want to be a member of another one. DLG want to be a member of anyone. Can you see SG, DG, DLG? These are all domain local groups only. GG1, UG1 not showing. It means, yeah, I know, understand. Okay, it means domain local group. Anybody means domain local group, global group, and universal group can be a member of domain local group. Okay, but domain local group cannot be a member of global group and universal group. Okay, like that. If you go to GG members, add X, check it. Global group can be a members in a global group. Only it will accept global group only. Members means global group can be a member of any other group, but it can be added to only global group like that. Okay. this is member of. If global group want to add it to anyone, we'll check it. It can be a member of DLG, GG, UG. But okay, it can be a member of. It can be added to domain local group. It can be added to universal group. It can be added to global group, another global group. But members means it will accept only global groups. You want to become my group? You want to add to my group? Yes. Then are you global group? I will accept it. Otherwise, I don't accept. That's the thing. Okay. But global group can be added to anyone. That's the thing. Okay. And this is universal group. Universal group can be a member of. Members means I will accept global group and another universal group. So domain I don't accept domain local groups anyway. Okay, like this. Member of global group can be added to. Global group can be added to. So you have to check it. Global group can be added to. So it can be added to other universal group. Sorry, universal group can be added to universal group and as well as domain local groups also, not global group. Okay, so like you can say, like here was some more points are there now. Already I've written, but so I will actually in my previous classes we have one beautiful diagram and book, but we don't have a time. I don't have energy today. Yesterday I have a lot of energy, but today this is global group and this is universal group. Try to remember, guys. Anybody can add it to global group. Okay, so I can add global group to. I can add global group to domain local group. I can add universal group to domain local group. Okay, but domain local group cannot add it to okay global group or a universal group first of all. Okay, and next one is global group members only global group, but he can able to add. Okay, global group can able to be a member of domain local group and as well as universal group also. It can be a member of domain local group as well as universal group also. And same vice versa. Universal group can be a member of domain local group only. It's not reverse order. Okay, no reverse order. Okay, so universal group can be a member of domain local group and universal groups like that. Okay, so you can check it once and you can put it diagram wise. You will understand what is going on. Okay, so guys, this is about your groups and understand how to create a group, and the important is how to add a user to the group. How to add a user to the group? Right click on user, add to your group, and tell which group you want to add it. Okay, so check it, like type the group name and check names and find out so which group you want to add it, like you can able to add it. Okay, so this is about groups. Actually I have to take the class of group policies, but it is almost time. Okay, it's about 3:30, guys. Sorry for a day. I don't have energy. Usually I'm getting back time. Okay, and lot of things.